Good morning, everyone. Let's do some prayers before our Upanishad studies. Om Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parbrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Bhur Bhavaswaha, Tatsavitra Varenayam, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, Diyo Yo Naha Prachodayat, Asto Ma Sadgamya, Tamso Ma Jyotirgamya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamya, Om Sahna Bhavatu, Sahna Bhunaktu, सवीर्यं कर्वावहे तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहे ओम शांति 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 So Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. This is the fourth section, and we are going to finish this section today. And we are learning that for the proper maintenance of the world that has manifested, the Creator projected himself as the great principle of dharma, which rules all the four social groups equally. Those four social groups we learned: Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. This is the law of the world, the relentless law divine, the eminence of the Creator himself in the created. In every part of the creation, Creator is present. And this great truth is the saving truth, which should be understood clearly while we are living this life. Whether we are performing a charity, or whether we are studying the scriptures, or we are practicing yoga, this knowledge, this great truth should be in our mind. So this universe we see is the Atma scintillating through every atom itself. It is the glory of the Atma that we perceive with our senses. It is his hand that is working in every act that is done by anyone at any time, at any place. We all have to realize this truth through stages, because nobody can jump to this kind of a height all of a sudden. But we got to bring our mind to the presence of our own self through the various forms of creation. And that's why today we are going to learn Panch Mahayagyas. As householders, I'm sure when all of you got initiated into the family order, when you got married, the Pandit told you that these are the Panch Mahayagyas you are supposed to do on a daily basis. They are part of our life. By worshipping and meditating on the cosmic deities, we can perform these yagyas. And we are going to learn about these today in these mantras. Dev yagye, Rishi yagye, Pitri yagye, Nar yagye, Bhut yagye. I'm sure you are familiar with these terms. And today you can see that where this knowledge is coming from. Sure, it's in Mahabharata. It's in the Samritis also, but it's in this Upanishad also. The proper performance of the 5 yajna prepares us for the next higher step in the ladder of spiritual progress. If you think we are going to just rise high up there without doing these yajnas, we are fooling ourselves. Through these yajnas, we sublimate our desires. And we all know that desires are also many. Our rishis, they have put it into 3 categories. For progeny, for wealth, for the name and the fame. Uttareshna, Vitteshna, Lokeshna. Everyone has got these 3 desires. But we have to learn how to deal with these desires properly. Through wise means, they can be sublimated. But for the person whose aim is perfection, only that person can sublimate these desires. Because otherwise, even one of those desires can make us miserable in life. And we can come under the grip of all 3. It's almost like one enemy is holding us, then the other 2 enemies, they can grip us too. And that's what's happening to the majority of the mankind right now. These natural impulses in human beings must be converted into spiritual energy with the help of these yajnas. And where do these desires come from? Mind. Mind is the source of all desires. Then speech follows like a faithful servant. Whatever is in the mind, it shows in our words. And what is the driving force behind it? Pran. These 3 are rooted in our own consciousness, ears, eyes. We are familiar with, they are responsible for sound or name and form, whether they are invisible or visible. They engage our attention. So these 5 faculties, mind, speech, vital force, ear, and eye. These are the main 5 avenues for action. And they should be integrated through meditation. So what is the spiritual principle according to this rishi? The consciousness is the basic substratum for every action which effects contact between the subject and the object. Should never forget that. And meditation is the unifying principle. So that's why he just keeps on giving us ways to meditate so that we can reach to that higher level. So let's go through this text. I think there are 2 verses left of this chapter, verse number 16 and verse number 17. Let's look at verse number 16 first. अथो अयम व आत्मा सर्वेषां भूतानां लोकः स यत् जुहोति यद् यजते तेन देवानां लोकः अथ यद् अनुब्रूते तेन ऋषीणाम् अथ यत् पितृभ्यो नृप्रीतानि यत् प्रजाम् इच्छते तेन पितॄणाम् अथ यन् मनुष्ये वास्यते यद् एभ्यो अश्नं ददाति तेन मनुष्याणाम् अथ यत् पशुभ्ये त्रिनोदक विन्दति तेन पशूनां यदस्य गृहेषु श्वापदा व्यांस्यः पिपलिकाभ्य उपजीवन्ति तेन तेषां लोकाः यथा हवस्वाय लोकाय इच्छमेत एवं है एवं विदे सर्वाणि भूतान इच्छन्ति तद्वः एतत् विदितं मीमांस इतम. If anybody can memorize these mantras, let me know. Now this self the householder is verily the support of all beings. It is by offering libations in the fire and performing sacrifices that he becomes a support to the gods, Devtas. By reciting the Vedas, he acts as a support to the sages. By making offerings to the mains and desiring offspring, he is a support to the mains. By lodging men and giving food to them, he becomes a support of men. By providing fodder and water for animals, he becomes their support. And as beasts and birds and even ants feed in his houses, he is thereby their support. Just as one wishes welfare to one's body, so do all beings wish welfare to him who knows thus. All this fivefold duty has verily been known and discussed. You can see that how clearly he is telling us to do the Panch Mahayagya. This is a very clear and precise import of this mantra. So he says, householder who has attained union with the self, who has realized his own identity with the cosmic self. But then why should he perform all these rites enjoined by the Karam Kand? So this is a Karam Kand actually. We all know there is a Karam Kand in the Vedas and there's a Gyan Kand, Upasana Kand, right? So Karam Kand portion of the Vedas talk about it. Some people say, doesn't it contradict the view of the Shruti that after acquiring the knowledge of the self, rituals become useless and unnecessary? There's no good in performing them. Some people do talk like that. It is true that the knower of the self is not subjected to the injunctions of the Shruti regarding the rituals. But to the knower of the self, who has realized the identity of the self with the self of all, the rituals and the yajnas, they present a different meaning altogether. Because at the lower level, maybe a person is performing these to get some kind of a fruit. See, like a Sakam Bhakti. But the knower of the self who has attained this knowledge, there is a higher significance in the vast scheme of creation for this person. He sees his self in all. That's the reason he will feed the animal also, take care of the plants also, take care of the water also. And look at the God in the guests also. All in his self. So rituals and other religious performances should not be rejected. They should be performed with this deeper significance. So he merges them in the totality of their being. So a householder fully illumined with the knowledge of the self also performs all actions. But he does them in a different plane of consciousness, which is beyond the grasp of the ignorant. So when we criticize that why the Guru is performing this, or avatars perform these, because we don't understand. We don't know what's in their mind. We are just judging them from our viewpoint. So this householder who has realized the self becomes the support for the entire creation of beings. How? So 5 yajnas, the first one to the gods, the second one to the rishis, then to the ancestors, mains, human beings, and the last one is for the animals and insects in the subhuman kingdom. By whatever he offers in the sacred fire, in sacrifices, he becomes the sport of the god. Because it is said that gods are satisfied by the offerings in the sacrifices. Just like a person's hunger is satisfied when we give some food to eat, gods, these devatas, they subsist on what is offered to them in the yajnas. With our common understanding or a worldly understanding, we cannot understand it. But when we rise higher up, then we'll understand that how it is really happening. Because they do partake the sacrificial offerings. I heard it from my own mother's mouth that when I offer the ahutis to the fire, because at the ashrams, havans are going on all the time, she says, God comes, accepts it. She could see it. I could not see it. So we have to raise our understanding to that level that, hey, gods are accepting it when we are making the offering. Even when we offer the prasad in our temple at home, where is our mind? Are we really offering it to God? We got to look at it, our own intention, our own bhavna. So Rishi says, if you are doing the Dev Yajna, you are supporting the God. So as a householder, we need to do that. And likewise, when we study and recite the Vedas or the study of the scriptures, we become the support of the rishis. That's a rishi rin we are paying back. Or the rishi yajna we are doing. So Dev Yajna, Rishi Yajna. By whatever offerings like water or even the rice balls people offer it to the ancestors, the forefathers. Our rishis, they say that you are supporting your forefathers. Again, the bhavana, it's not that they come and eat the rice balls or drink water. But through that offering, you are connecting with them. Wherever they are, they feel satisfied. Don't you feel that sometimes without any reason, without any effort of yours, you are feeling so peaceful, so happy, or something worldly has been given to you? This could be that somebody is from your line of ancestry is doing something for you in your name. Pitri Yajna. The same way we need to support the human beings by providing lodging for them and also food. That's called Nar Yajna or Manushya Yajna. In old times, they used to in India make the dharmshalas. Any traveler can just stay there without any payment. And everybody, the doors were open to everybody. It's not the rich people. Now the rich people can go to the 5-star hotels. Poor people can't. But dharmshalas were for everybody. Or the food kitchens. Same food distributed the same way to everybody. That is a naryagya. Or if somebody comes to your house, greeting them with respect, with honor, seeing the God in them, that is a naryagya. As a householder, we are supposed to do that. And by giving the food and water to the animals, or even to the plants, it becomes a sport for the animals and the plants, the beasts and the birds, even the ants. We have certain days when we feed the ants outside also the house, our house. When somebody important comes to our house, what do? We sprinkle some rice outside. We sprinkle some oil outside. Who gets that? The little creatures do. So these are the traditions where householder is supposed to help the rest of the creation. Panch Mahayagya. And now you can see that how beautifully it's written in this Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. And it's really explained and expressed in a very beautiful manner. And it carries the implication that a person who does it becomes the sport of all beings whatsoever, without any exception. Not just my family, not just the people who look like me or talk like me, but everybody. All beings with the welfare of such a person will wish welfare also. Because this energy travels both ways. As one wishes one's own welfare, in like manner they wish his welfare also. Because this person is their support. It's almost like if you have a pet in the house, you're feeding the pet, taking care of the pet, and the pet takes care of you. These relationships, they go that way. So we got to just expand this awareness into this entire creation. Devatas also, Rishis also, Pitris also, human beings, all of them, and animals and the birds and the plants also. So this person who has realized the self has become all this through the realization of his identity with the entire creation of beings. In that sense, we say that we are all one. There is a oneness in all of them. And it's quite natural that others will wish good for him. The words I am Atma over here, this self, which we see in the beginning of the mantra, this really means that a householder who has attained union with the self, and the remaining portion of this mantra is the commentary based upon that. I am Atma. Because these mantras, they can be understood many different ways. But to me, I think I am Atma. Yeah, I am the Atma. But right now, I am in the body. I got to do my worldly duties based upon the understanding that I am the Atma. And I cannot let go of the rituals. Rituals I must do to feel the oneness with the entire creation. It's not that you just let go of the rituals. You keep on doing the rituals. Let's look at the last verse, verse number 17 of this chapter. आत्म एवं अग्र असीद एक एवः सो अकामयत जाया में स्यात् अथ प्रजायेह अथ वित्तं में स्यात् अथ कर्म कुर्वीयेति एतवान् वे कामः न ईश्वान्तः भूयो विन्देत तस्मात् काकी काम्यते जाया में स्यात् अथ प्रजायेह अथ वित्तं में स्यात् अथ कर्म कुर्वायेति स या वत् तेषाम एकम न प्राप्नोति हि अकृतसन एव ताव न्यन्ते तस्योः कृसन्तः मन एव स्यात्मः वाग् जाया प्राणा प्रजा चक्षु मानुषं वितम चक्षुषा हि तद्विन्दते श्रोत्रं दैवं श्रोत्रेण हि तत् शृणोति हि अतम वस्य कर्म आत्मना हि कर्म करोति स एष पांगतो यज्ञः पांगतः पशु पांगतः पुरुषः पांगतम इदं सर्वं यद इदं किंचः तद इदं सर्वं नोति य एवं वेद इति चतुर्थम ब्राह्मणम्. In the beginning, this variety of covetable objects was but the self, just a single entity. See, objects can be coveted, Atma cannot. He desired, let me have a wife so that I may be born as a child, and let me have wealth so that I may perform rites. Desire verily comprises this much. One cannot attain more than this even if one wishes. Therefore, even now, a man being single desires, let me have a wife so that I may be born. Let me have wealth so that I may perform rites. So long as he does not get each of these, he thinks he is but incomplete. His completeness may take place in this way too. The mind verily is his self, speech his wife, the vital force his progeny, the eye his human wealth, since he attains it with the help of the eye, the ear his divine wealth, since he hears it through the ear, and the body itself is right, since he performs rites through the body. So this is a mental sacrifice consisting of 5 factors. For an animal has 5 factors, man has 5 factors, and whatever exists consists of 5 factors. He who knows thus attains all this universe. So the last verse of this great chapter, he's saying that there are 2 natural urges inherent in human beings, impelled by which a person desires for wife, progeny, wealth, etc. So there's a range of multiple desires, but they all can be traced to these 2 urges in a man. And this Rishi is calling them natural urges for wife and wealth. So man at first felt an urge to possess a wife so that he may be able to bring forth a progeny and maintain the family tradition. We know that only females can give that. Next came the urge for wealth in order to perform the rites or the karmas. So these are the two urges which form a basis for the entire group of desires. Wife and wealth, together with their effects, progeny and karam. This is like an entire framework of earthly and heavenly longing for human beings. You might say that no, there are other desires too. Sure, there are, but they all fall within the scope of these two main urges. So even if one desires for more than these, he would not attain, for desire is only this much. In other words, it may be said that whatever one desires has its cause in these twin desires. Or you can say twin currents of desires. So there could be many branches, but these are the two main current. So every person is impelled to give expression to these urges, producing the progeny. Want to have somebody. These days they say pass on the genes. When he is alone, devoid of these two, he feels a sense of incompleteness and void. And he gets any one of these, either wife or wealth. When he has achieved wife and also wealth, he feels that he has attained fulfillment of the desires. But is it true? No. Even after having fulfilled these inner urges, a person is haunted by a sense of dissatisfaction. Wife, children, wealth, accomplishment of actions, name and fame, all objectives do not give complete satisfaction and completeness. How to get the complete satisfaction? This mantra gives a meditation by which these natural impulses can be converted into spiritual energy. I've been telling you that this Upanishad is mainly about meditation. But before meditation, he just takes us into our common life also, so that we can connect it with that. Objects which are now considered external and disconnected should be brought within the realm of our own self. So we all know that the mind, which is the source of all desires, we understand this mind. Through this mind, we know, a person knows who's my relatives. Or when we are talking about a man, man will know through the mind that who's my wife. Through that wife, she is the medium of progeny. It is speech because it always follows the mind. So speech is the one which is saying that this is my wife. So mind and speech in mutual union represent the pair. That's what he said. Mind, whatever is in the mind, it will come through the speech. So the manifestation is the progeny. And later on, we'll see that he will tell us that earth is the body of the speech. Heaven is the body of the mind. Through their union, there is a vital force. See, this is how these rishis give us something to meditate upon, not just only inside us, but outside us too, so that there's a more and more harmony. One should not desire for earthly objects, should realize his identity with the cosmic mind. only then we'll feel satisfied. There's nothing wrong in having a worldly relationships, but if we as a human being don't establish, don't get out of it, become one with the rest of the universe, we have not meditated upon the higher truth. Cosmic vital force. Through cosmic speech. So just as heaven, earth, water pervade the whole universe, even so the cosmic mind, speech, pran constitute the whole framework of the creation. So we got to understand this through the microcosm. We got to understand the macrocosm also with these meditations. Then he says, eye is the human wealth and ear the divine wealth in this mantra. Why? From the eye arises the perception of the forms. We see through the eyes. Eyes are the one which are sporting all the forms. And from the ears, they sport the sound. Sound is the material for all names. So it sports all the names. And this topic will be discussed elaborately in the future verses, you will see. But over here, try to just understand that what a wealth we have. Body indeed, it is his karma, which he longs for to accomplish. Because the general activity in the body is the source of all the particular actions. Body supports all actions. We know that when the body feels sick or weak, we cannot even do the minor duties of ours. So it's a common factor in all actions, this body of ours. Again, the body, although one, is a support for all. Because who's supporting the mind? The body is. Who's supporting the speech? Body is. In the same way, the pran, the ear, and the eye. So that's why it said that the sacrifice is five-fold. 5 factors: mind, speech, pran, eye, and ear. This is he's telling us. Similarly, animals, as well as human beings, and the whole universe, there are 5-fold. All of them. Think about it. There's a mind, speech, pran, eye, and ear. In the cosmic form also, these 5. And this is the completeness of a man. By knowing this, he no longer desires the worldly wealth or even the worldly wife. Because he did not feel the completeness through that. There was no satisfaction, fulfillment through these worldly relationships. He wants to become identical with the entire universe. Because that's the urge we have. And he who attains identity with the whole, like all these 5 cosmic factors, becomes free from the sense of dissatisfaction and imperfection. And that's how we act in tune with the cosmic plan. That's how we accomplish all the karmas. So it's like This is the virtue which these rishis are talking about. Instead of becoming more and more me and mine, becoming more and more selfish, got to expand ourselves through these yajnas, which we talked about, through understanding the whole system. Instead of thinking that that person is better than me or lower than me in the society, we are all part of the same creator. Not just only the human beings. He talks about the plants and the animals and the birds and the bees, or even these deities, feeling the oneness with this entire creation. And this should be brought about through meditation in our awareness. So this is what he is talking about in this particular chapter. Okay, let's end it here, and we'll start with the next section next week. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaye Purnameva Visheshyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you very much.